Welcome back everyone, and today we're looking at a couple of places. First one will be in those woods. I found some old remnants on Google Maps which indicate some type of old structure, some old remains. And then after that we're gonna continue on that road and see what else we could find. Don't have too much planned today, although this is the first stop. This is a unused boat dock. You could see half of it's blocked off by vines. And it just goes right to the Sacramento River. All overgrown. So I'm going to start hiking in these woods, and I will update you guys when I get to the remains. And also, let's look at this real quick. Didn't notice this light. Look at that. Yeah, let's begin hiking. So you can see that sign that says it's a hunting zone. That's the remains I found on Google Maps, on satellite maps, was this brick wall. Almost looked like a cinder block wall with moss growing on it. Just right on the side of the Sacramento River. And it's raining right now, so gotta watch out, can't get the video camera all too wet. An old hose. That's an old metal drawer. So there's once an old building just right at this spot. Looks like the foundation was right here. That's definitely have to use your imagination for this spot. There's not too much indications of buildings, although obviously there's once a foundation. You could see that. All these little pieces of cement. This whole area is just, you could see they took out some of these trees, so these power lines are still active, still maintained, because obviously they removed the trees so they could access them. Looks like somebody drove on this road fairly recently. And there's an old utility building right there. The remains of one. That's what we're going to look at right now. This is something else I've seen on Google Maps. Some old poles, old tank, some electrical. Just remains now. Some old hoses. It's pretty neat. Probably an old electrical building. This is where that other building was. Would have been right there. Now just a wall remains, aside from a little bit of cement. So let's get going and see what else we can find. Should be fairly interesting to see what we get into today. Never know what you find, especially with unplanned trips like this. I'm on the side of the road and I found an old bridge, which is quite interesting. It's in these woods. Seen it out of the corner of my eye. Should be interesting. And it's awesome to find something like that, especially since I didn't plan this trip out. I don't exactly know what we're going to find today and film. So everything we find other than the place we looked at in the beginning, it's all unexpected stuff I didn't know about. We're in a wildlife refuge. I don't know if I added that. That's the old bridge. I assume there was once a road right there prior to this one being made. There was a road. It's all gone now. Just this bridge remains, which I would find it interesting to go hiking that way and see if there's any other remains, you know, kind of follow the direction this road goes in. Although I'm definitely not going to do that, because if you've ever hiked in areas infested with the invasive plant species blackberry bushes, you'll know exactly why I'm not even going to attempt that. These things are terrible. And speaking of them, I have some right there that have taken up half of this bridge. Some old tires and old bottles as well. Bunch of moss growing on it too. I'm gonna have to go down and see. I want to see if there's any cracks in the bridge or anything that would make this unstable to drive on. Not that I'm going to drive on it, but I'm just curious how it's held up over the years. I don't see any cracks, any structural issues. Check that woodwork out. That's awesome looking how it's just decaying. One of the guardrails falling down. Now we're on the other side. It looks like some people decided to dump some trash. Now that is interesting. That's an old record player. let's get going. Very interesting bridge. Let's see what else we could find today. I assume we're gonna run into some other stuff, but with a unplanned trip like this, you know, you never know. Although, let's get going, see if we could find some other interesting things to look at today, you know. Maybe not just abandoned. So let's go and see. And it's a gloomy day, so you know, it's perfect to film. The sky's completely blue and it's raining right now. I did find something else today. This old cemetery. With how little of graves there is and how unmaintained it is, this cemetery gives a real creepy vibe, you know? Kind of like, with it being gloomy and raining out, it's like the stereotypical definition of a creepy cemetery. Could see that tree's pretty much dead. That one's burnt up. Old tree right there, nobody's moved. Grass hasn't been mowed in a long time. And as we go this way, all these other trees are burnt up as well. Wonder if it was arson or something. All these limbs, all the tree limbs are falling down. Like, look at that. Completely dead. Well, this part is, the top part's still alive. The very that tree's dead. Both of those trees are dead. Yeah, this hasn't been maintained in a while. And keep in mind too, this cemetery's in the middle of orchards. There's no towns next to us, no major cities or anything. We're just surrounded by orchards right now, so it's a desolate cemetery. I thought this was interesting though. I don't mean to be, you know, filming people's graves or whatever, but I just thought this was interesting to see. It's a unique cemetery in the middle of nowhere, and I'm gonna keep driving this way, see what else we could get into today. I'm trying to find some other places to look at, and I keep seeing these road closed signs, and then they have a detour to go the other way. I didn't know the flooding was that bad today, although that's abandoned. Although, no trespassing, private property. Dang, man. That would have been interesting to see. As much as I want to see that place, it is private property, so I guess we gotta keep on going. Just an old abandoned building. If I could get my camera to focus, I could show you guys it. Well, you get the idea. For a second I got excited, but I guess that's inaccessible, so I'm gonna keep going on this road, and if we've seen all this many abandoned places, we're bound to find another one. arrived at the old abandoned office or whatever type of building it was. A lot of graffiti. Let's go in and then I'm gonna film the outside later. Check that out. Got a basement? No, just a little storage or something. Yeah, this was definitely an office. You could see the receptionist desk. Probably had some plants growing in that. Let's have a look around real quick. Check that desk out. Let's go in these offices, see what's going on. Very neat. Got the bathroom with the attic. A tin roof. Well, that's not a bright choice for a climate as hot as this one. Unless you got some real good ventilation and some excellent insulation. Little closet, some electrical control panel. Someone left some spray paint. This was another bathroom. So a small office building. Even that light's been vandalized. This place has been very vandalized, not in the best of condition at all. A very neat office building, although I do want to look at the outside. Yep, just to recap real quick. Only 2 offices, not a very big building. Was there anything on? No, that's the last building, or last room. Let's see. I wonder if this one opens. Oh, you could see it wouldn't even. It's all overgrown. Nope. And look at all those spider webs too. Some daddy long legs. Very neat. It doesn't sound like there's too many vehicles out, so let's get out and take some pictures of the exterior. It's just an old storage shed, so it's probably completely empty. No, it's not a storage shed. Yeah, water heater or water tank. Okay. Little pump house. Yeah. I think this was a very neat place. I'm definitely happy I checked it out. Cool old office building, man. Although I'm gonna call this a day. I think I've looked at quite a bit today, and want to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and gonna get going. What kind of bone is that?